Your Majesties will require into their court Sigvardr Halfdanarson.
Yggdrasil, the great world re-shook. It was a good shake. Hugin and Munin lifted from their perches amongst its limbs, and Heimdall turned to Midgard. On the mortal soil, a fierce warrior picked up a hammer not to defend his kingdom or his family, but to create. With Brock and Thor watching on, the giant among men worked with metals, bronze, silver, and gold. For every hour he toiled on the battlefield, he spent an hour at the forge. For every minute he spent honing his craft, he practiced with sword, axe, and shield. Fierce and humble, giving of time and creations, he walked the earth, a champion of queens and an enemy of dragons. The winds picked up and the snows fell. Soon the seasons changed, and those high in Asgard watched on, recognized the efforts below. He is brought forth, Your Majesty, before you now, Sigvardr Halfdanarson, walking his own path, and still guided by his family of silver scorpions, to answer not one, but two questions. These two have never been asked together on the same day before.
Sigvardr, you had two questions to answer today. Do you have an answer for us?
Yes.
To vote. That's really important. Please call the orders.
Oh boy. Their Majesties would require the presence of both their Order of the Laurel and the Order of the Chivalry.
Get up here, Ivan. Gotta take some slack,
Is there a member of the Order of the Pelican who will speak for Sigvardr?
Hi, everybody. I'm Saba. Nice to meet you. I literally just took these out of my purse, and I haven't had a chance to recite. So the way it's coming out is not practice. Sigvardr, art is a service. Service is an art. The embodiment of chivalric virtues and being able to demonstrate them through deeds of arts and prowess is a service. Service is the embodiment of the dream. To have such passion from the forge to the field is to have passion for what makes the dream stay alive and stay strong. Faith is my favorite virtue. I have faith in your guidance to our future generations. And I have faith that you will continue to serve those around you with your passion. Your Majesties, it is a good thing that you do this day. You are my...
Is there a member of the defense to speak for this man?
Your Majesties, I am Magistrate Devlin McPherson of the Order of Defense, and I claim that right. May I? Your Majesties, Excellencies, Your Highnesses, great populace. Today, for Siggy, I just want to talk about you. Who I met, and who I found out you were. Met you several years ago, and you were welcoming, you were kind, you were caring. You were somebody I was able to approach with ease, and you left me at ease. Then I watched you fight. And I found out you were a fierce warrior. And I loved my fighting. I was once armored, and now fight rapier. I appreciate that. And then I find out how fierce of an artist you are, and how lovely your work is. To the point where I had to ask you to make me this 2 weeks before today, because I didn't feel right speaking for you without a piece of your art with me. You treat everybody with love and respect, and your joy for the game is infectious. I feel that every one of us can agree that we are fortunate to have you amongst us, and that we can call you a friend and family. You've been my peer for years. I'm glad everybody caught up. I feel what you do today is right and proper, and I thank you. Welcome, brother.
Is there a member of the Rose to speak for this candidate?
Hello everyone, I am Countess Mudthaw, and it is my pleasure to speak for this individual. He's always the type of person that reaches out to you first. What do you need? How can I help you? Roses speak to courtesy, and so I reached out to Countess Indrakshi and Her Majesty, who you worked under and were chosen by as Queen's Champion. One of the greatest things that we get to do as Queens is to pick champions. And it's an incredible bond, and it's an incredible friendship that we get to have with you guys. Indrakshi wanted me to let everybody know that she was immediately impressed by his fighting and comportment. But when she found out his quality of art and craftsmanship that day, she was completely blown away. And this phrase that she wrote is absolutely the perfect one, that he is a beacon of courtesy and inspiration. And I don't know how I could possibly ever top anything like that. Her Majesty, always friendly, helpful, engaging, outgoing. You fight with her when she wants to. And you are just one of the most kindest, courteous people I have ever had the privilege to know in and out of this game, ever. Thank you, Your Majesties. He is my peer and will be for ever.
Is there a member of the Laurel to speak for this man?
Your Majesties, Your Highnesses, Your Excellencies, members of the populace, I claim that right for my order. Where do you buy silver from? It's the first words Sigvardr ever asked me That was September of 2017, before I had even come back to join my Eastern family. And from that, I watched this fierce, passionate artist and warrior bring beauty to the world and bring prowess to the field. And we became brothers. Brothers of the hammer. They have spoken about passion, about inspiration, and all of these qualities cannot be understated. Sigvardr is each reincarnate. You create, you mold, you shape, and you embrace in a way that I have never seen in my entire life. You made this for me when I was elevated. And this is the only piece of regalia that I ever carry with me, no matter what. Because we are brothers. And this is your heart. And I wear it here. Your Majesties, Your Highnesses, populace, this is a good day. And I am proud to call him my peer.
Is there a member of the Chivalry who will speak for Sigvardr?
Your Majesties, Your Highnesses, Your Excellencies, and I claim this right. But I don't claim this right. I was gifted with this right to speak for my own by his request. How do I follow up after all these people that have spoken to your qualities? I'm going to go back over and over and say the same things again. Largesse. It's part of what we are. Your kindness, it's part of you. When you create, you're creating for others. You're creating for the joy that you see when you gift somebody with something. You show up to an event that blended artists and fighters. But you showed up with stuff for him, you showed up for stuff for him, you showed up for stuff for that guy over there. Oh, but wait, as if that's not going to be enough, I grabbed a couple of extra things to put down so other folks will have something to be able to take away from the table of art. That is what I'm referencing. Your heart is huge. What you create is amazing. The research, everything. I can't even put into words what you create. Many years ago, a lot of fighters, knights, got into metalsmithing and getting into making rings and baubles and bracelets, and you took that and you ran. When we're asked, so other than fighting, what else does he do? And then along comes you. What else? I mean, granted, I've never heard us go for a pelican, so what's their weapons got? But regardless, you did and showed. You had 2 orders fighting for you. Who was going to stake that claim? because you're that amazing. I can go on and on. I won't. This man I met a number of years ago, and over the years, he's my peer. When I grow up, I want to be half of him. This is the most wonderful thing that you are doing today. I thank you.
Sigvardr, before you have your regalia, I would like to see your peers so you can break your contract with them.
You approached me a number of years ago. This belt and chain I am going to give back to you for when you take your first flight. Our bond is broken. I release him to you.
Is there spurs?
Knights of Serpenius and Knights of Silver Scorpion have both worn these spurs. I expect you'll get your period.
Finish card. Are you gonna take the belt or the baldric? Is there a belt?
Yes.
I wanted to belt you very badly, but since your parents are here, I thought the honor should go to them, so my hand is stuck.
Is there a medallion?
There is, Your Majesty. This contains not only the 2 accolades, but your heart.
Sigvardr, I dub you once for kindness. I dub you twice for passion. I dub you thrice, Knight of the Society. Please stand.
We are going to give the buffet. This is traditionally a strike across the face. It is consented to and asked for by all parties. If this is something that you do not wish to see, this is your moment to look away.
May it be the last blow you will receive unanswered.
We're here.
Mohammed och Koratika litu reisa stein finns furir Sigvardr till Gura att Ogatum hans duger med svärd och hammar. Olaver risti runar thassi. Mohammed and Koratika had the stone raised for Sigvardr to give great praise to his skill with sword and hammer. Olav carved these runes.
Rise. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made history today. May I present you the newest knight and Laurel of the East Kingdom.